Hi everyone. We're telling your followers that you're started a live video. Awesome. And Tiago's the first and Liz is the second. And without those two humans, we wouldn't even have a show. I know I'm an important role, but super grateful for Liz and Tiago for getting us to this 2-week anniversary. It's been a wild ride, friends, and we're still here and we're still doing it. And today we are going to have another awesome show where we spread art, not Rona. Hi, Brianna. Hi, Maggie. Maggie up in frickin' Minneapolis, Minnesota. We love you. Vanessa, my neighbor, you're getting a sticker. Hey, Denise Barretto. So happy that you're here. Barbara, love you. Oh my gosh, Karen is here. Thanks. So I've been trying to watch live streams to see what people do. And like at this part, people, they play music and they're like, let's wait for the room to fill up, which is super fun. You'll pretend. James Peppa, I owe you a freaking deep dish pizza because you totally saved me yesterday. Shannon Cahill, we're talking to you at the end of the show. I'm very excited to see what's on your wall. Hey, out there too. Beth Adler, it's like romper room in here. Yes, it is, Denise, and we're waiting for all the Beto stands to get out of their live stream and jump into this one. I've had a couple people ask me if the timing of this show is intentional, if I'm intentionally following him, and I'm like, oh, if only things could be intentional in this world on the Lisa D show. Awesome, and Ellen Greene is here. Ellen Greene, we will be talking to you in a couple seconds. I just want to let these people know what's happening today. So as we have promised many times before, we are connecting Evanston Creatives with the world at large. We're starting small, right? Because most of these people are neighbors and friends, and we're super pumped to have them in our community, and we want to show everybody what they're doing. We want to share with the entire world, and that's what has been so fun about these Instagram live shows is we're able to create great experiences where we go into people's studios, we see what they're making currently, we wave to them as they walk by, we are gifted with beautiful art. This is, Amanda Evanston's great piece, and I was going to wear something to match, but that's as far as that thought got. I didn't put anything on, but the idea is that we connect you with Evanston artists and creatives through this 30-minute live stream show that we do every single weekday. And now we're wrapping up. I know, Ellen, the painting behind me is so beautiful. Oh, there's my neighbor Ben and his cute dog. See, we can wave to people outside and we can wave to people inside. A little connection of the virtual and real world. So again, thanks everybody for jumping in. I'm super excited that you're here. And I think that there's, I think we're gonna first jump in with our conversation with Ellen, and then we're gonna jump in with our conversation with Shannon. She's gonna do our segment, What's on Your Wall? No fourth wall, there is no fourth wall. Exactly, that's right. So Ellen Greene, if I can ask you to wave again, I will invite you to be in the live stream. We'll do a little split screen and we'll see what's in her studio. If you follow Ellen Greene's studio, and that's Green with an E at the end on Instagram, you do get a lot of wonderful, oh, hi Ryan Catanza Rita, love you.
Hello.
Oh my gosh.
I put on lipstick for you.
Your lipstick is gorgeous and your spectacles are spectacular.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so happy to see your face.
I miss you.
I want to fucking kiss you, but I can't. It's fine.
I know. We'll have to just resist, but your hugs are one of the hugs I'm missing. You're one of the few people that I allow to just tackle me with hugs when I see them.
Oh, it's fine. It's totally fine. That's what stuffed bears are for. Oh my gosh, where did you get those glasses?
Warby Parker.
Dude, they're fun.
And I think, if I'm correct, they were sunglasses that you
switched out
because I have a big head and I like big glasses, and you can't get big enough.
And you know who does that? An artist. An artist will just switch out stuff. Look at you. That is awesome. Okay, so today what we're going to ask that you do is that you just share with abandon what's on your canvas and what it is you're working on, and then talk to me about like how you're even making art right now.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is
Nice.
This is the one I just finished.
Beautiful.
We'll get all up in that. Ooh.
God, what is that expression you're making? I love it.
Just kind of like rapture, resignation, like dreamy, like I'm dreaming. And there's distortion on the image too. The image is distorted on the canvas. So.
And then what is that above your head?
Like a little bit of a pine tree branch. I was going to say spruce, but why am I trying to be fancy? I think it's just a pine tree branch. And just kind of this feeling of wanting shelter, wanting to be closer to nature. Like I was just having all these like desirous feelings to like flee to the woods. And so I had to kind of give myself this moment. This image kind of came to mind about me trying to cover myself in pine branches as a way to like shield myself from the world, but I'm also a part of a material world, hence the super tacky children's wallpaper.
Did you design and paint this super tacky children's wallpaper, or is that pre-existing?
Pre-existing. It's actually wallpaper.
Nice. I love it. That's gorgeous. And a lot of your work juxtaposes memory, childhood, you're weaving narratives. Like, why did you, and it's a leap of age. I feel like you would have painted Ellen as a 6-year-old if we were being like time sensitive. But you're painting Ellen as a grown-ass woman in front of this wallpaper that you might have had when you were 6.
Yes. I mean, I suppose it's like more memory, more referencing a time past. But I really love wallpapers. I love wallpapered rooms. So I think in my mind, it's always shortcut for a room. Here's like a wallpaper painting on this side. Ooh, it's just empty, but I'll probably add a figure to that too.
So where are you getting this wallpaper? Don't tell me you're like going into abandoned homes and tearing it off the walls.
This one I just painted. This is all paint. There's no real wallpaper there. This one, you know, Etsy.
Etsy, you buy vintage wallpaper. But the roses, you're mimicking a previous design in your mind.
Yes.
Wallpaper.
Yes, that's just painting. But then I have also put real stickers on it. Ooh, real stickers. Yeah.
And where are you finding the mental space right now to address what's going on, not only in your head emotionally, but like, I know that at the beginning of the Shelter In, you were working on a lot of commissions that were, I'm too busy to talk to you, Lisa D, because I'm working on commissions. I'm like, what?
Well, I still had my day job and my art day job. So I was like, even though I was doing everything from home, like my work was still like, and I was just trying to adjust. And I was actually pretty grateful that I just had to focus in on the portraits. They turned out fabulous. Like the weirdest thing about portrait work is I have to wait to post it because often it's a surprise, right? And I don't want to ruin somebody's gift by like, hey, I saw your portrait on the internet. And then I work so hard and diligently give them away. And then I'm just kind of like, I forget, and they never get posted enough. So anyway, it was 7 portraits of a whole family, 2 dogs, 3 children, 2 adults. It was a huge commission. And I was really grateful because it got my hands and mind really focused on the craft of just painting. And then so when I had a break and I was able to actually feel what it was to be in this new world, I was just walking a lot and I was just crying a lot. And I felt this need to express this particular moment. So I think that, I mean, artwork for me has always been painting or exploring really difficult emotions and difficult times. So like I'm kind of primed for this sort of experience. This is grist for the mill for my artistic spirit.
You're primed for a pandemic.
I'm ready. I am the granddaughter of a Depression era grandma, and it was like you never left food on the table. You never knew, you know, you saved every penny. You picked up every can on the street. I mean, it was just like you never take anything for granted. Mm-hmm. And also, like, ironically or not ironically, because I had that kind of like ethos of like, also she saved buttons and every scrap of fabric, because then she would make rugs, and she, you know, from the Midwestern punk mom show, I showed her rugs. And so I happen to have all the materials to help the workers at my day job. They're an essential, deemed an essential business. So our team is still working, and we wanted them to be safe. And I was like, I can sew masks.
Nice.
Because I just happen to be already a supply hoarder / ready for the apocalypse at any time. So these skills have definitely seemed to, like, whether they're in my epigenetics, you know, from like hard times on the farm.
They're in your DNA from hard times. Mm-hmm.
So I've actually enjoyed it, because typically one of the biggest interrupters for my artistic process is the guilt of not participating enough in things I should be doing, like going to shows and socializing.
Yes. Thank you for saying that.
And I'm actually quite okay alone for hours. And if there's nothing to do and nowhere to go and nobody else needs anything, it's kind of nice. Like the kids don't need to go anywhere. Like nobody's doing anything. I can just paint. And I'm trying to
It's what we need. It's what we need right now is we need you people to just frickin' paint.
Yeah.
But I've talked to many people who are like, I cannot. I want to ask you if you can go back to the not spruce. So can I just ask, are you mocking the need for shelter? Because who could possibly find shelter underneath a 2-inch branch? What is that? Because I feel like you're kind of you're making fun, but you're not making fun.
It might be like it's something I'm still reaching for in expression. I think this whole series that I'm embarking on is this kind of anemic effort at shelter. You know what I mean? Like a little, like I was imagining even just like a little triangle of sticks above my head. Like I'm just trying to do what I can. I feel like everybody's just trying to like gird themselves a bit from the brunt of this in some way. Like their heart wants to be connected to something bigger and deeper, but we don't quite know how to do it. So it's like I just kept wanting to pick up things off the ground and collect them, you know, as this gathering. So I think I have this other thing. This was a really quick sketch. Do you see that? It says it says the dream. I had this I'm gonna circle back, but not to get super like woo-woo metaphysical, but I drew that pretty much the day that I had this really deep urgent feeling that something was going to go really drastic, like everything was going to shift. Like I felt it in my body that like something like this was coming, and I had this big sense of inspiration to draw these sketches, and this was one of them, the dream. And I was like, I don't know what that's about, but okay. And now it feels like it was this kind of premonition. So I'm just trying to feel really as connected to what's happening as I possibly can, because I just think it's important to feel it all, you know?
Yeah, and to honor that, you know, there is a time for everything. There's a season for everything. And what I really love, and I've always loved about your work, is it's always this mashup of, from the sailor tattoos to the leather gloves to the recycling wallpaper and putting on a new portrait of it. There's just such a beautiful blending of so many things, and you're not afraid to acknowledge where you're from, where you are, and where you're going.
Oh, thank you.
I love that about your work.
I'm gonna pull out a bit so you can see, because the wall too, sorry, whoa, I don't know if I give everybody vertigo, but the wall is comprised of quite a few different things. I'm gonna pull back.
Pull back, sister, pull back.
I'm coming away. But there's like a mirror and some strange little heart. Maybe I can actually rotate.
So is this wall for inspiration? What are those?
This is just kind of how I live. You know how the Midwestern punk art kind of constellation, everything's just together and they kind of simmer together until it becomes a thing that I know it's going to be.
And this is sort of like, if we could say, like your mood board of work in progress, but then you're also working separately in a separate studio.
Oh no, my whole living and work, I mean, I'm going to get real. Watch this. I'm going to flip it over and you can see the place where the magic actually happens. It's a hot mess. Watch. Woo!
Jeez, that is a hot mess.
Got
a
my
sewing machine.
Some like silk screens up there on the wall. That's where I do my day job right there. I mean, there's a table usually there. I had to move it. Oh, there's my dog. I mean, my life is just like, oh, look, it gets worse. Woo!
Wow.
My life and my art is just kind of all in one flow. There's no separation, but I like it that way. I think that's what makes me interesting to myself. You know?
Well, and it's what ends up on your canvas. There's nothing on your teeth. There's nothing at all on your teeth.
It's getting really vain now that I'm looking at myself.
No, I love it. And I love that you are one of also the most compelling things about your work in general is that you're very authentic and you really share not only your space, but your work very authentically. Now that you're done with this, what was the size of the portrait of the family members and the pets? How big was that?
Those were all 18 by 24, I think. 18 by 24 individuals.
So they were suspicious. Oh, okay.
Individuals.
Like, okay.
Yes.
Individual.
Yes, not one whole.
I just said the word suspicious because we have people are commenting, as you can tell, on this Instagram live feed, and when Elizabeth says she's suspicious of artists who seem too organized.
Yay!
Yeah,
I'll show you my mess any day.
Yeah. Upright Media loves the hot mess. My office is worth authenticity. So you finished this commission and then you jumped into this piece behind your right shoulder. Is that gonna be a series or is this just, okay. So you're gonna put you in like this.
In that one, yeah. I wanna keep going and exploring. I mean, I did, a lot of you might recognize that one of my oldest daughter. I revisited it actually and started adding details to it that I felt was amiss. There was something like, I wanted to move forward with new work that was maybe less about the memories I had of my children, and more about just where am I now and finding that new place, of just I don't know, at this crossroads of my kids being older. One of them would be leaving the house had this pandemic not been happening. I was kind of ready to say goodbye and settle into this new phase of understanding myself without the children around all the time. But before launching into it, or maybe kind of simultaneously, I wanted to make sure that I did right by the things that I had painted for them. So this portrait of Donovan was never really finished. I showed it a bunch of times.
And you want, right.
Thank you. Hi, we're back. And we're back. That was like a commercial break. We did on purpose.
Good thing that you brought Tiago along to this project, because honestly, I'm like, no way could we have done any of this on our own.
Big ups to Tiago. He's very talented.
Yeah, and Valerie, his beautiful wife, is giving us a lot of information on what we should and should not do in these live streams. So as we all experience this together, we're learning a lot.
He's a pro.
But this is kind of I have to say, this is my favorite part where we are going in to have conversations with people inside their studios. And we're talking a lot about like who's willing to do this, who is willing to sort of let us be so nosy, right? Tell us what it is that other artists need to hear about willingness to share this way. Because I kind of feel like this might be the new, and I don't want to be the pushy Italian lady because I freaking always market. But if I could get you to say it, it might help.
Yeah. I think part of why I'm kind of a natural, like, hey, here's everything. And I think some people just aren't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm fully, like, as you know, like, here's everything. There's no part of me that I won't share. So I suppose, like, wherever you're at, accept that, and guaranteed there's something you can go farther with in sharing or vulnerability. There's always some place farther you can go. I mean, that's what I think I'm always searching for myself. Like, how much, like, how more real can I get? Like, that's my soul's purpose. I just want to be more real. Like, I want to be the Velveteen Rabbit real, you know, like ears falling off, eyeball falling off, split at the seams because I've been loved so much, you know? And so if that encourages anybody to be any more real, like, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna be messy, it's gonna look really bad sometimes, but it's so worth it, because like the deeper I go and the farther I am into being willing, the more I just feel full of of the ideas, and all I have to do is just share me. It's so simple. It's so simple, but it's really hard. So I get it.
So hard. And I think that is why people responded the way they did to Midwest Punk Mom, because you were just so sharing and so authentic and not proud, but just real. And that's really brave.
Oh, thank you.
Very brave. This has been this whole entire part where we get people to share the most authentic and real and raw stuff. So we're show number 10. How more real can I get? That's just freaking gold, Ellen Greene.
Thank you. That's what I want. That's what I want for me and everybody else that I love. Just like, how much more real can we get? Because there's always some place to go. But it's not easy. It ain't easy.
Not easy. All right. Well, that's it for us, sister. We're going to make a nice little package out of this. We're going to put it on YouTube. We're going to share it with the planet, because the planet needs to hear what's up out of your mouth.
Thank you. I love you. I love everybody who is here listening. Thank you.
So many viewers. Thank you, Ellen. And get back to work, because you've got work to do.
I'm going right to painting.
Awesome. Okay. Tremendously fun. Bye, everyone. That was super amazing. A little studio visit with our good friend Ellen Greene. We are going to, like I said in the video, we're going to make a package of all of these interviews after the fact, Boston, and we're going to share them with you. Right now, what we're going to do is jump into a little interview with our good friend Shannon Cahill, who is a massive proponent of Evanston art. She does a great job collecting Evanston art, promoting it on her Instagram channel. Shannon, if you're watching, and I know you are, can you wave to me one more time? Oh, there we go. And then we're going to patch you in, because in this segment with Shannon, she's going to show us what's on her wall. Last week, we saw a beautiful piece by our good friend, artist Ross Martins.
Yeah.
Hi, Shannon.
Hey. Hi.
Hey, nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming. All right.
It's good to be back.
You are allowed to show us what is on your wall. It's
awesome.
Like a game. Awesome.
Okay, so today I have two pieces. And let's see if I can turn this around and see if you can guess.
Hey, I know that.
Okay, so I love this series, love this artist, Kathy Halper. And I know you just had some of her pieces on your gallery space, but this is from her social media series. And this is a piece that I actually bought for my daughter because I love to buy my kids art so that when they have their first place one day, they'll have their own collection, but you know, it stays in my house for a long time before that. And so when I'm looking at the art in my house, you know, these past weeks, I'm thinking about it in the context of where we are now. And this is, can you see it, or is there too much of a?
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah, so it says selfie with a belly pierce, and it's embroidery. I'll like go in a little closer so you guys can all see the detail of it because it's pretty awesome. And it's obviously like a commentary on, you know, our young society, our society in general, and how we, you know, how we're working now with social media. And, you know, how I think about this is that now that we're on social media now, and it's just the amount of time I spend on Instagram is like insane because, you know, we can't be interacting personally. So I feel like everyone's just sharing more, and my kids are sharing more on social media, and it's, you know, it's just profound how we can bitch and moan about it, but at times like this, we really embrace it, right? To bring our community together. So, you know, this piece I chose because it was pretty significant right now.
Mm-hmm. Great. Kathy Halper.
Kathy. Okay. Beautiful. The other one is what I call my vintage Dana Diano. Dana is an Evanston artist. She's amazing. I have several pieces of her work, but this one was the first piece that I bought of her, and I probably bought it about 8 years ago. It's very different from what she's doing now. Mm-hmm. And if you take a look at her work now, she's doing these very incredible mixed media, abstract landscapes. They're amazing. But I find this one to be amazing, especially now because I've always loved this. There's a lot of chaos, right? Like there's a lot going on. There's a lot to think about. We really don't know what's happening. In fact, I'm going to zoom in here. And right here it says, what explodes here? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Right down here with this crazy bunny. So I loved Ellen's reference to the Velveteen Rabbit because I have a thing for kind of crazy rabbits and animals. But, you know, it says, why aren't you worried like all the others? And it's just really interesting. And Dana uses fabric. She uses pastel and paint and pen and ink. And you can see she sewed. I don't know if it's hard to tell, but she actually like sewed these pieces from found objects. And I love this piece. It's in my bedroom, which is kind of a weird place to have this chaos. But every time I look at it, I kind of see something new and I think about it, and I kind of question, think about what Dana's trying, what she was thinking about as an artist when she was working on this piece. So I just wanted to share that one as well. So those are two Evanston pieces hanging on my wall.
Thank you. We do have a quick question for you from the audience, if you don't mind taking a question.
Sure.
Do you have a specific favorite aspect of the Evanston arts community? Is there something about Evanston artists that you connect more with than artists that you've collected in other places you've lived or places you visit? Is there something special?
I think what's special about it is that with each piece that I own from an Evanston artist, there's a story, there's a personal story behind it, because I have met the artist for every piece that I own. And some, it was just in the sale of the piece and we talked about the piece during the sale, and others, it started a friendship with that artist that, continues today. And I have to say that I do art consulting. So I work with these artists all the time, and they are so generous with their time. They are so generous with their talent. They love what they do, and they're happy to talk about it. They're happy to talk to my clients about it. Their studios are always open. So it's that personal connection with the piece that, you know, just brings me back time and again. So that's,
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shannon. We totally appreciate
you.
Calls with us, and we will have links available. Shannon's handle on Instagram is art_NEN_object, and you can look at the artists that she works with to make really exquisite walls, not only in her home, but also in lots of people's home. Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you. Have a good weekend, everyone.
You too.
Bye.
Have fun. Bye. All right. Well, that was a very successful show. Thank you, Ellen Greene, for letting us into your studio, and Shannon for showing us what's on your wall and introducing us to Kathy Halper and Dana Diano. Super fun. You can look at those artists on the evanstonmade.org website. We have profiles and more photos of all of our member artists. We obviously are looking to create some type of connection between the art world in Evanston and the general public. And we're doing that through the Lisa D Show live at 6 p.m. weekdays on Instagram. I've gone over and beyond my allotted time, 3 minutes over. I hope you all have an awesome weekend. Thank you so much for being in the house, the Beto stands, the Evanston fans. We have a fantastic show lined up next week. We are talking to the Evanston Art Center about their online classes. We're going to do a segment with a young woman who's grounded from fashion school. Emma's going to show us what she's wearing and what's in her closet. We're going to talk to cartoonist Ken Crimstein. We're going to talk to Denise Bretto. She's coming back for a second round. We're going to hear another song from Nora. We're going to do a wonderful studio tour with artist Sheila. We're going to tell you about all of this. Thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate all of you so much. I hope you have an awesome weekend and a good Friday night. Don't forget, it's Friday, April 24th. It's not Lil's birthday. It's my sister's birthday. Okay, bye, everyone. Thanks for being here.